to direct our resources where justice has not been served.
So that's a way for them to...
him being incarcerated for creating a website is somehow justice.
Yeah, so that's a way for them to slime out of this, basically, and act like, well, you know, if he hadn't been sentenced to 2 life sentences and 40 years for running a website, we'd bring these charges against him because, you know, we'd want to make sure to put him away for life. But since he's already put away for life, we'll just go ahead and drop these charges. It's not like we didn't have a case. We had a really good case. We just don't feel like putting it on because, you know, he's already in prison.
Because reasons. How many times, and I've seen this numerous times, to where somebody will have already been convicted of one crime facing a life sentence, and then they just keep getting convicted for other things. Continuing on the statement by the...
Well, yeah, why wouldn't the prosecutor want to pad their record, right? Like, if you've got a case for murder, go ahead and make that case for murder, even if the guy's already in jail. It's not like... You know, if Charles Manson kills somebody while he's in prison, they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, we're just going to let you slide on that one. There's no extra charges. Go ahead, just murder all the people that you want to while you're in prison. We won't bring any charges.
But after he's already been convicted, how can the prosecutor bring up more charges and throw them?
Sure,
or is it over? It's closed. It's closed case, right?
No. He was never convicted for murder for hire. He was never tried for murder for hire.
Right. I understand.
They're making us up.
Yeah, I know. That was in the on deck file. So he got convicted. He was charged. So now he was
convicted of running a website.
Right. So they have this other charge, murder charge,
murder for hire,
that they decided to release because they want to focus their resources on other matters.
That's the claim,
right?
But so if what Ian says is true, where they want to pad their record,
they could bring a murder charge if they had evidence to do that.
If they had evidence, they don't have any evidence.
Right. That I understand that.
Which is why they had to drop it. I don't understand your question.
No, my question was, can you bring charges up on someone who has already been convicted and sentenced and they're in jail?
Not for the same offense. If you have evidence that he did something else, then you can charge him with that something else.
They can't charge him for running the website again
because that's
already been convicted of that.
But they could if they
had evidence that he ran a stop sign, they could charge him with running a stop sign.
It's probably statute of limitations expired on that, but murder, the statute of limitations, as I understand it, does not expire for murder. So they could bring murder charges anytime they wanted to.
But if they wanted to put this guy away for life,
they already have.
As opposed to 40, I thought it was 45 years.
Two life sentences plus 40 years.
So okay, damn.
Continuing on.
For running a website. That's what he was
Statement from the attorney's office contained an important misleading element. It is not true that Ulbricht's serving his ridiculously punitive sentence based on the same conduct as in the dropped indictment from Maryland. That indictment includes a charge of attempted witness murder and many lurid details of the specifics of his alleged involvement in a case of never actually committed murder and torture. Those charges were not part of what he was actually sentenced or convicted of. And there's more from Reason.
Unfortunately, Ross Ulbricht is run out of appeals. His case was not taken by the Supreme Court, and so therefore his conviction is going to stand. The only way for him to get out from behind bars at this point is if the President of the United States grants him a pardon. And there's a petition about that.
Yes.
freeross.org. You can go and link to that. We'll tell you more coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.Global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.Global. Drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.Global. That's AnyPay.Global.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. Learn more at zencash.com.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today, the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels, or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.fm in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.fm. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Join us on the radio here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got Skype. The Skype username is LRN.FM. Plus our Discord on-air call-in line room, where it sounds almost like you're sitting in the studio here with us. You can go to discord.lrn.fm and jump on into the first chat room that you see, as long as it's empty, because it's only got room for one person, because that's the call-in room. But there's also other chat rooms in which you can chat with other listeners of the show, as well as some of the hosts like me and Conan. Also, I do want to let you know that Anarchapulco is on the distant horizon. It's about 6 months out, February 14th through the 19th of 2019 in Acapulco, Mexico. It'll be the largest gathering of freethinkers, voluntarists, libertarians, and anarcho-capitalists. You'll love the lineup of speakers discussing entrepreneurship, investments, politics, philosophy, health, sustainability, lifestyles, and personal relationships for 4 days among the sun and beaches of a world-class resort. And I think it's going to be at the same resort this time that it was last year, or this year rather, and it was very, very nice. And we're going to be there again. Free Talk Live will be broadcasting from the event, and for the first time ever, you get a discount for being a Free Talk Live listener. This event was a sellout this year, so they're expecting it to sell out again in 2019, even though they're going to increase the amount of space available. So you'll want to get those tickets as soon as possible, and the early bird pricing ends in less than a week on July 31st. So go to anarchapulco.com. That's anarchapulco.com. Use code FTL, like Free Talk Live. Oh, did I mention Ron Paul's going to be there again? Yeah, Ron Paul, Judge Napolitano, Doug Casey, and many more, I'm sure, yet to be announced. Anarchapulco.com, code FTL to save 15%. Darryl, you've got more from the Reason.com piece talking about why the federal government is now officially dropping the indictment against Ross Ulbricht for ostensible murder for hire, an indictment that was never actually criminally charged.
Correct.
The charges never existed, but that didn't stop the judge in Ross's case. This is, again, the Silk Road, the underground drug marketplace case, the very first one of its kind, where the judge used the fact that there was a pending indictment against Ross to act as though he's a murderer, even though he was never convicted or even charged with it.
Right. And
say we need to sentence him even worse because he's a murderer.
And one thing that Lynn Ulbricht, Ross's mother, has pointed out numerous times at various speeches that she's given, even if he were convicted of the murder for hire, that carries a sentence of 10 years.
As compared to 2 life sentences plus 40 years for the terrible crime of running a website.
Correct.
Where people could trade things.
Reason continues, the real tragedy haunting this otherwise good news is the mere fact of the accusations, despite never being proven in court, played into the insanely and unprecedentedly draconian sentence Ulbricht received. The failed appeal to the Supreme Court wanted them to judge the propriety of sentencing based on unadjudicated accusations, but alas, the court did not want to bother. Some close to Ulbricht's defense, such as his mother Lynn, also wondered if the fact that the murder for hire accusations relied on work done by federal agents who were themselves charged for crimes committed in the course of the investigation into the Silk Road might have played a role in the failure to ever go to trial on those accusations. The U.S. Attorney's Office, however, would not comment on any possibility that might have played any role in their decision to drop the indictment. It's good that the charges have been dropped, but the government's careless use of them as a media weapon to destroy Ulbricht's reputation and to encourage the sentencing judge to be far harsher.
I wouldn't call it careless. It was intentional. It wasn't careless use. It was intentional. They intentionally tarred this man with the "he's a murderer" allegation without ever having proven their case, and they got to drag that in front of a jury and drag it, and this judge was well aware of it, and it was really just so despicable. They are so corrupt. What they did to this guy was horrible. And now he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, and we're all going to be forced to pay for it through taxes, unless somehow they can convince Donald Trump or whoever comes after Donald Trump to pardon this guy.
Continuing on, this was used as a weapon by the media and the government to destroy Ulbricht's reputation and to encourage the sentencing judge to be far harsher than the crime he was convicted on actually would warrant, have, alas, already done their damage.
Because it makes him sound more like a drug lord, right? You expect this from El Chapo. You expect this from Pablo Escobar. And they came at him with one of those drug lord charges. I forget
the so-called
what it was called.
Kingpin charge.
That's what it was. Kingpin statutes.
Right, and remember the judge threatened to sequester the jury.
Correct, because our friends were there.
Which is one of the things that happens when someone is very dangerous.
Well, the reason was our friends went down there. Derek J. Freeman, who was a co-host on Free Talk Live at the time, and some of the other Keene area liberty activists actually went down with signs. The first day of the trial, they were outside of the courthouse holding jury nullification signs, which, of course, is your right as a juror to judge the law itself, not just the facts in the case. You can find somebody not guilty, even if they are guilty by all the facts, because you think the law sucks.
But the jury wasn't going to be told, you're being sequestered because we don't want you to see the protesters.
That's correct.
They would have just been told, you're being sequestered, and then they see the charge, this guy's being hit with the Kingpin charge. Oh, dear.
They would draw the connection.
I might be in danger.
Right. They would, on their own, come to the conclusion that, oh my God, we're being sequestered into a hotel and being, shuffled from the hotel into the courtroom under armed guard every single day because we're being threatened by this man, even though that's not at all what was happening. It was the fact that the judge didn't want these jurors to see anything about jury nullification outside of the courthouse. And ultimately, that resulted in Ross's mother, Lynn, who you can understand why she would do this.
Right.
I don't think it was the right choice to make, but she asked the protesters to disperse. She asked them to not come back She said, if you want to come sit in the courtroom, that's fine, but, we don't want you out here doing jury nullification outreach. And what she had thought at the time was that by kowtowing to the judge's demands, that would make the judge go easier on Ross.
Right.
And the fact is, the judge couldn't have gone any harder against Ross.
Right.
I mean, they literally threw the most maximum sentence they possibly could have in order to so-called send a message.
Right, and then whenever any of the prosecutor's witnesses would testify in some kind of way that might have been beneficial to the defense, the judge then instructed the jury to completely disregard everything that witness just said.
That happened.
Yes, at least once.
Yep.
Concluding here, now that Ulbricht has no chance of having his initial conviction and sentencing overturned or adjusted, it's likely the feds out of Maryland decided the indictment was no longer needed to make sure that the government had some further means in their back pocket to punish Ulbricht for showing a safer, saner way around their insanely damaging war on drugs.
Yep. Well, there you go. I have no hope that Ross will ever be released from prison, because you certainly can't count on any kind of president to release a drug dealer from jail. It's one thing if Obama at the end of his term releases some, maybe some drug users or something like that. I don't know if he released any convicted drug dealers from federal sentencing. It's a travesty what has happened to Ross Ulbricht. Any human being who looks at the case, who has any kind of conscience, should be able to see that.
Yes.
Which is why I don't expect any president to ever do the right thing in this case, because I don't think they really have much of a conscience. That's how they got to where they are. 855-450-FREE is the toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
If you like alkaline water, or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dylan Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dylan bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dylan bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dylan bottle today at dyln.co. That's dyln.co.
A Japanese-American internment facility was still in operation in the mountains of Northern California. The facility should have been closed in 1945 and its 6,000 residents released, but unfortunately the camp was overlooked until this week. I am happy to announce, however, that the remaining 118 detainees have now been fully exonerated of suspicion of spying for General Tojo, and they have been freed. Next item of business. The President will be meeting with the Australian Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd. Yes, Denise?
This is a huge oversight. How could this have happened?
Well, Denise, it looks like the camp just somehow slipped through the cracks. The end of the Second World War was a hectic time in America, and it's only natural that we let a couple of things slip in our excitement over defeating the Nazis.
Who's going to be held responsible for this? Congressional investigation?
No, there won't. In fact, the War Relocation Authority was responsible for the decommissioning of the internment facilities, but that organization ceased to exist in 1946, so no.
This is the Onion News Network.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, you dial toll free if you want. You can take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
So we started out with the, I don't really want to call it good news. I mean, it's news about Ross Ulbricht, where they're no longer going to be bringing murder charges against him because they never really had a charge to bring, because there really isn't any evidence that Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the Silk Road, actually hired anybody to commit murder. And the reason why the government, of course, wanted to tarnish him with this was to make him look like he was some sort of a drug kingpin, some kind of a violent thug who would, do whatever it took to stay in power or whatever.
Right. Throw you out of helicopters.
Whereas the reality was Ross was a geek. He was a programmer. He probably had like the same build as, me, skinny guy. He was not a drug thug. He created a website that allowed people to buy and sell things. Drugs were the main kind of thrust of the site. And in the very beginning, he allegedly sold a few mushrooms on the site to kind of get the ball rolling, get some product on there for people to purchase. This is not something that should result in a life prison sentence, let alone a double life plus 40-year prison sentence. But that's exactly what happened to Ross, and it's absolutely tragic. Of course, the judge using the same old excuse of, I want to send a message. Well, was the message received by anybody? And if it was received, did anybody really care? Because as soon as the Silk Road went down, Silk Road 2.0 came up within a month's time.
Right.
And there were other Silk Road wannabe, Silk Road copycat sites that also cropped up. And indeed, the federal government took those sites down too. Then more popped up.
Yep.
And more have popped up since then. And there are, so there's been this constant fight of the government trying to hunt these sites out and take them down. And they've been relatively successful, all things considered, which is sad. Especially given that the system that these sites are on, the Tor network, which stands for the Onion Router, it's a purportedly anonymous system, although the federal government seems to be very good at routing out where these sites are coming from somehow, and we're still not clear how they did it with the Silk Road, because that's some of the evidence that they weren't that they did not present during the trial.
Right. So there was a report of sorts written by some federal agent. I forget exactly what his name was. But he wrote some stuff. He used words and sentences, but those words and sentences don't really work with the rules of computing to actually explain how he wound up locating the server.
This according to a security expert who commented on that at the time when the federal government came out with their...
Multiple security experts, and then...
When they came out with their explanation, people who know security looked at it and said, yeah, that's poppycock.
Right, because the claim was, I just kept hitting enter on the login page, and it ultimately gave me the IP address.
Yeah.
Which, one, that's not how computers work, and two... It sounds like he tried to do some brute force thing which is against the law, and there's not even an exemption for the government to do brute force. So,
well, as we've seen, the government's not so concerned about breaking the its own rules.
But it doesn't fit within the rules of computing or the rules of gathering evidence, which is part of why that agent never actually testified. Because if he would have testified, he would have had to explain how he did the thing, which is why I often say that there was a evil leprechaun that came down on a flying unicorn and just took him to the server, because that makes as much sense.
Oh, Darryl, don't forget that the leprechaun was Russian.
It was more likely the NSA, but that's pure speculation. You know, we don't know exactly how they found the server. We do know that ultimately Ross made a few mistakes, and these were some of the things that were revealed during the trial. He had posted right around the time when the Silk Road was created, he'd posted using an email address that sort of was traceable back to him about the Silk Road, and you know, the agents were able to find that. But all that aside, I mean, Ross admitted to creating the Silk Road, which ultimately is an act of freedom of speech.
Right.
He wrote code, right? When you're writing something down, that's speech. And he wrote code to create this website to allow people to buy and sell things. Did he know there were drugs being sold? Of course he did. He was one of the administrators of the site called Dread Pirate Roberts. That was his username. But as he pointed out during the trial, or as his defense attorneys pointed out, at some point, Ross gave up control of the site, or at least this is the story. Ross gave up control of the site to some other person who then took over the Dread Pirate Roberts role.
Right.
And it's still unknown who that other person is.
And one of the agents testified that they were following Mark Karpeles, who was from Mt. Gox.
That was the first Bitcoin exchange. Basically.
Yes, and at the time it was the largest Bitcoin exchange. Mm-hmm. And then, because they never actually wound up arresting Mark and then somehow discovered Ross, all of that guy's testimony was instructed to be disregarded by the jury because it wound up giving some kind of credence to Ross's story that I handed this over to somebody.
And that credence could have resulted in a reasonable doubt that it was that it was Ross all along. Who had been involved in this.
Right. Now, the actual good news here is
good
that
news? Okay, let's hear
Ross Ulbricht actually has a Twitter account.
That he's posting remotely?
I don't know how he's able to post on it, but
what's the account?
At Real Ross, the letter U, and it has been confirmed by the Free Ross Twitter that this is Ross. Yes.
Cool.
He's only posted a handful of times, but earlier today he posted, started a new workout routine on Monday. It's already kicking my butt. Burpees, pull-ups, and running.
So they must have him out of a communications management unit. There was a time at which I believe they did have him inside a CMU, which means that all communications are heavily monitored.
Yes.
All outgoing communications are scrutinized. He's not allowed to do media interviews, things like, there's all kinds of restrictions in a communications management unit. And so the fact that he is able to post these in federal prison, they do have an email system. So I suspect that's what's going on here. If he's not in the CMU, he probably has access to the federal email, what they call core links.
Okay.
And core links allows inmates in federal prison to have a limited number of email contacts. So you can't have, dozens. You can probably have a dozen or something like that, maybe 6. I'm not sure what the number is. But you have a very select number of email contacts, and then you pay, I don't know if it's by the word or by the minute, but there's a certain, fee that the inmate has to pay out of their commissary fund in order to be able to send. I think they can receive for free, but I think in order to send back a response, they got to pay by the word, basically.
Okay. No interviews?
And if you're in a communications management unit, I don't think they would allow you to be interviewed. But I don't think he's in that anymore by evidence that he's on Twitter.
Manson had interviews all the time, didn't he?
Manson may not have been in a communications management unit.
But I mean, you see the difference in his crimes versus this guy who ran a website.
Yeah.
Right, but generally, people that are convicted of computer-related offenses are put in those CMUs.
That's generally true, I think.
Whereas if you just, convince people to kill other people, well, that's not a computer thing, so we don't think you're going to try hacking into, the DHS website or something.
Yeah, but I'm talking about interviews. How can you manipulate the internet via an interview?
If they're managing all of your communication, then they're going to limit who you're allowed to speak with.
Yeah, you don't get to make a phone call out of there without them knowing about it and listening to every single word that happens. It probably is likely pre-approved phone numbers even that they will. It's maximum crank down on your ability to communicate. So yeah, this Ross Ulbricht account at RealRossU first started posting just a couple weeks, or not even 2 weeks, just 1 week ago. So he's only got 8 posts so far. Says he got a batch of your comments last night at mail call. Too many to print them all. Page after page of encouragement. I'm on cloud 9, he says. Good. Thank you. Go to freeross.org to get the latest, to sign the petition there as well to get him out. More coming up.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
Get relief for your neck or back pain when you search Amazon for Sunshine Pillows, heating wraps, and pads, often listed as an Amazon choice.
Why take another pill?
Now, from Sunny Bay and by customer demand, we introduce our extra long neck heating wrap, a complete wrap, wide and hands-free, and brings fast relief to those who suffer from neck or back pain.
You can easily find Sunshine Pillows on Amazon.
Or search Amazon for our new Sunny Bay disposable heat pads. Or look for Sunny Bay heated neck wraps for relief from back pain to menstrual pain and cramps.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder.
See why our company, Biomed DB Design, has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Just go to Amazon.com and search Sunny Bay, or call us 253-678-1361.
The warning signs.
At first, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me, about my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can join us on the radio. Toll-free number here, 855-450, free like freedom. If you want, you can, of course, take control of the airwaves and talk about whatever's on your mind. We got stuff, of course, in the news to talk about tonight. And I know, Conan, you were upset. Or you wanted to talk about MGTOW, but you weren't ready to do it. I don't want to force you into it.
I'm just a little baked right now, and I don't mean from the stuff. Okay. I've been working all day long. I just got home.
I got you.
And
well, maybe we'll get into that later if you become unbaked enough for it. Or you said if somebody calls in about it, you'd be willing to talk
someone wants to call them about MGTOW.
MGTOW, which stands for Men Going Their Own Way. We'll go to your calls and thoughts here, but I do want to make sure that you know about Bitcoin.com. It's a great resource for cryptocurrency, especially if you want to learn about Bitcoin, the one that started it all. And now the new Bitcoin Cash as well. In fact, Bitcoin.com wants you to know that you can use Bitcoin Cash over at SaveItPurse.com. My most recent purchase at Save It Purse, I waited for a long time on this one, but it finally went through. 33% off. I got one of those mosquito traps where they've got sort of the new thing in mosquito traps is they're fan-based traps. And so there's a UV light that attracts the bugs, and there's a fan, like a computer fan basically, that's just constantly running. And it sucks the little buggers down into a trap where they die basically of starvation.
Wait. This is a mosquito trap that you go camping with? Or this is something you put out on your porch?
There's one hanging right out on the
So
LRN
instead of
porch.
the bug zapper.
Yeah. Sterile.
There's a little fan, and it sucks them into a thing.
Well, in this case, it's a big fan because I got another trap I put out in the backyard here at the studio today. So we now have, and this one will supposedly kill mosquitoes like up to an acre away. So,
all right. So now, does this thing attract mosquitoes, or did it just get caught in it?
The light purportedly attracts the mosquitoes as well as other bugs. So it'll catch bees or whatever other
right,
things.
it has to attract them. Otherwise, it's not going to say we kill mosquitoes from an acre away. That's not. You don't just send out some radiation that kills.
Well, I know
a
some of these attractant traps are actually. They cause more harm than good because they attract every stinking bug in the neighborhood. The prime example are the Japanese beetle traps.
Really?
If you want every Japanese beetle in the entire block in your yard,
put one of those
out and hang it off the tree.
Yeah. I mean, this is it's supposedly going to attract them from over an acre away. So I'm happy that I can help my neighbors get rid of their mosquitoes because those suckers fly everywhere. So I actually had a good experience with a smaller version of this trap, which is why I wanted to get the larger one. But since I already had one, I didn't really need it that quickly.
Right.
So I put it on for 33% off, and it took 3 weeks. But finally, somebody bought it, and you can get up to 33% off the things that you want to buy through Amazon, but you have to use SaveItPurse.com. That's SaveAT Purse, SaveItPurse.com, and you can now use Bitcoin Cash as your deposit currency there. So it's Bitcoin BTC or Bitcoin Cash. Let's go to Robbie. He's in Northeast Iowa. Robbie, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. So I wanted to talk about, I was reading this article about Monsanto.
Yeah.
And, being from Iowa, you hear a lot of stories about Monsanto. So
sure, they're a big evil corporation that goes against small farmers. They've got the Terminator seeds that they try to push on people who that makes it so there's only 1 year's worth of crops that you can get from these seeds, and you have to keep buying the seeds from them. So they've got all these genetically modified things that some people think are very, very scary, and they're supposedly one of the most evil corporations in the world. That's the public perception of them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I haven't really put a whole lot of research into it, so. But I was reading this article. It's actually on Reuters. If you type in like Reuters and then Monsanto and glyphosate. So glyphosate is a herbicide, and apparently it talks about the World Health Organization. They found out that there was most likely a link between certain types of cancer and this glyphosate. And it was apparently left out of the whatever the U.S. regulatory institute is.
Okay. Would that be the USDA?
And it's something like that.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of it talks about a bunch of lawsuits against Monsanto because apparently they were a part of this decision. So,
well, yes, no one should be surprised.
I'm seeing an article here from Reuters from about 2 weeks ago. Federal judge allows lawsuit over Monsanto's Roundup to proceed to trial.
So that's a different case. You're not talking about Roundup, which is a weed killer, right?
Well, yeah, no. Well, the chemical in Roundup is glyphosate.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So what they do, allegedly, and I haven't deconstructed one of their seeds to find out, but allegedly they'll put the glyphosate, which is the active ingredient of Roundup, they somehow put that into the plants or something to make the plants not. When you spray the Roundup everywhere, it doesn't kill the plant that you're trying to grow.
It's a Franken plant.
So no one should be surprised when Monsanto was involved in federal decision-making processes because, there's this idea of regulatory capture, which, doesn't just exist with the USDA, but the FDA and, you name it, whatever the agency is. Whatever industry is being regulated obviously has an interest in controlling the regulations. So the most well-connected, the most well-funded of those industry people, in this case, Monsanto absolutely is both of those things. They're going to get their guys on the regulatory boards. And then they're going to be in charge of creating regulations, which, of course, they will be able to jump through the hoops because they have enough attorneys to jump through those hoops. But smaller mom-and-pop farm operations are going to get screwed over by these regulations. That's the way it always works.
One thing that's interesting here, the EPA last September issued some kind of regulation saying that glyphosate was likely not a carcinogen, but the World Health Organization 3 years ago said that it probably was. So now you have two completely different regulatory entities, if you will, saying something completely different. And Monsanto is now a unit of Bayer.
Bayer purchased Monsanto?
$62.5 billion.
Holy
Bayer,
crap, the aspirin
company that created heroin.
Did they make heroin? Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they created heroin in the late 1800s as a way to help people kick a morphine addiction.
Wow.
And now it's twice as addictive.
And now they're using morphine to help people kick heroin addictions.
Right, because they soon found out that heroin, once it's metabolized by the body, turns into morphine.
And how much you want to bet Bayer makes morphine?
They probably make a version of it.
Yeah.
But like the worst part about Monsanto, from where I look at this, is their use of intellectual property and how they'll go after some of the farmers when seeds blow onto their property and say, you're using our seeds without our permission. I didn't want your damn seeds.
Yeah.
It would be akin to if I went out and was just randomly, spraying some paint and then it got on the neighbor's house and then suing them because my paint landed on their house.
Yeah, it's a pretty good analogy. Robbie, anything else you want to share? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the question I wanted to ask is, I was reading this story and I was thinking, obviously government regulation doesn't work. So how do you regulate businesses? When two companies are doing a trade, if you're following the NAP, you're
the non-aggression principle.
Both companies, yes, exactly. You're assuming that both of these companies are being transparent. So how do you make sure that a company is transparent when they're doing a trade like this?
So, the marketplace has regulatory mechanisms, self-regulation through certification, through reputation. That a company's honest because, well, they've done honest business in the past. If you're dealing with a new company that has no track record, then you may require some extra hoop jumping in order to do business with those people. What does that mean? I don't know. It depends. Maybe you need to hold some collateral depending on what the deal is. Maybe you need to get their bank statements or something like that. Who knows?
And in a truly free market, companies like Monsanto would not be able to use patent law to wind up, basically taking over the seed.
Thousands and thousands of patents.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So the answer is, let the market decide, and the market can already come up with these methods. Thanks, Robbie, for the call tonight. There's more coming up here. Hour number 2 next, Free Talk Live.
And what we got ain't a free market.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.61 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,217. Antiwar.com reports U.S. media coverage suggests hostility towards diplomatic engagement with Russia as a matter of course. A new Harris X poll, however, suggests that this is not the view of the majority of the American public, with 54% approving of President Trump inviting Russian President Vladimir Putin to the White House for a second summit. The first summit, held earlier this month in Helsinki, Finland, was seemingly successful despite it being followed by negative media coverage and attacks from lawmakers in both parties. Trump followed this by inviting Putin for a second summit, this time in the United States. American public support for such a summit does not extend to Congress, however. On Tuesday, congressional leadership announced that if Putin does come to the White House, he will not be invited to address Congress or visit the Capitol building. House Speaker Paul Ryan says addressing Congress is something we reserve for allies. Ryan added he was only okay with Trump and Putin meeting so long as the message is stop violating our sovereignty. Congress focuses heavily on allegations of Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, and there is bipartisan bipartisan consensus, despite a lack of evidence to that effect, that Putin was behind all of it personally. Protracted vilification of Putin would make a visit to Congress to deliver a speech a difficult matter at any rate. Explicitly saying he is not invited to do so, however, is clearly intended to be a blow to diplomacy. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports New Jersey Attorney General Gerber Gruwell announced Tuesday that he has asked prosecutors to adjourn all cannabis cases in municipal courts until at least September 4th. In a letter to prosecutors, the Attorney General said he is asking for the adjournment so his office can develop appropriate guidance on how to handle cannabis cases as state lawmakers decide whether to allow for recreational use of cannabis. The request came after a meeting with Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop, who supports full legalization of marijuana. Fulop said this is a huge win for Jersey City, the state of New Jersey, and most importantly, the people who have been impacted by the creation of a criminal record due to a simple marijuana arrest. Gruwell's move unofficially decriminalizes marijuana for the time being, but New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said on Monday that full legalization is a better avenue for the state. Murphy told reporters, "On the surface, decriminalization is intoxicating. You think it's a step in the right direction, but it actually leaves the business in the hands of the bad guys. Your kids are exposed, it's not regulated, it's not taxed, so I'll leave the specifics of that to the Attorney General, but that's a conceptual answer." Sharon LeChair, spokeswoman for the Attorney General's office, pointed out that the letter does not instruct police to stop making marijuana arrests. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal judge on Tuesday said the U.S. government appeared on track to reunite by Thursday's deadline most of the families separated at the U.S.-Mexico border as part of the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy towards undocumented immigration. The judge, however, put off deciding on a petition by civil rights groups to postpone deporting any of the parents for 7 days after they get their children back. A temporary order currently bars deportations of the families until the matter is resolved. U.S. District Judge Dana Sabraw, who last month gave federal immigration officials until July 26 to return 2,500 children to their parents, commended them on Tuesday for the remarkable achievement of having largely accomplished that task. As of Monday, at least 879 parents had been reunited with their children, according to a joint court filing by the federal government and the American Civil Liberties Union. Another 463 parents were no longer in the United States, but their children were still here, and it was unclear when those families would be reunited. The federal government cannot say whether those parents were deported or left voluntarily. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Turning to health news, doctors at Johns Hopkins Medical School have discovered that bones are the coolest part of the body. The 10-year study found that although the body has many cool things in it, nothing is cooler than your skeleton.
Just think about it. You have this soft, fleshy body, but inside of it, there's a second, tinier body that's made out of a super hard rock. Our data is conclusive. Bones are very, very cool.
To conduct the study, researchers examined every single body part and determined how cool or uncool it was.
We initially thought the brain might be the coolest part because it's like a computer that runs on food. But when we looked at it up close, it was all gross and wrinkled. Brains are not cool. Bones are cool.
Doctors discovered that there are big, strong bones like baseball bats in your arms and legs, hand bones that look like a monster claw, and skull bones that make a scary face. Doctors did caution that as cool as human bones are, they're not nearly as cool as dinosaur bones.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We are launching into the second hour of the program, and you are invited to join us here. The number is 855-450-FREE. Should you wish to take control of the airwaves, or of course you can comment on things we've already been talking about. Tonight in the studio, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
We've got Skype as well. The Skype username is lrn.fm. Plus, there's our Discord on-air call-in line room at discord.lrn.fm, where you can go and you can get on the air with us, and also you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners there around the clock, 24/7. The Discord is available to you. Once again, that's discord.lrn.fm. Let's go to the phones to the fun. We'll start out with Milton in Saratoga, New York. Milton, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead. Milton in Saratoga. Going once. Do we have Milton in Saratoga going twice? Well, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe there's some trouble back at the network studios. We will put... Oh, I hear somebody. Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello?
we have you now.
Okay, it must have just been the headphones. Sorry about that.
It's all right. You're on the air.
Okay. So my question was, who do you think, or how do you think the 2018 midterms are going to go? Number one, and number two, if Ron Paul had won the Republican nomination for president in 2012, who would his running mate have been?
Well, that's first of all, we'll start with the second question first. How would anyone have any idea?
Right, he never came up with a list of here's the short list for running mates.
Yeah, maybe.
How about his son?
Anybody but Rand Paul. How about Judge Napolitano? Those two go together pretty well.
I think that would. I think he's on all the libertarian lists.
Yeah. I'll go with Judge Napolitano. So now, what was the first question again? I'm sorry, I should have written.
What are our thoughts on 2018 elections?
Darryl, you pay the most attention to political elections. You have any opinion here?
Well, generally in the midterms, the party that is currently in power winds up losing some seats.
So the Republicans will lose some seats.
They'll lose some seats. I don't know if they'll lose their majority in either the House or the Senate, but they will definitely lose some seats. There might be a governorship that flips somewhere. I don't know. I've not been following any of the specific races very closely.
Because who cares? Because ultimately, if it's a Democrat replacing a Republican or a Republican replacing a Democrat,
two sides of the same coin.
Nothing's really going to change, is it, Milton?
We've got an open congressional seat in New Hampshire. It's the district that we don't live in.
Open meaning the person's resigning who's in there?
Correct. The person
incumbent?
That's currently in is not running for re-election.
Okay.
I think there's like 9 Democrats, 11 Republicans, Libertarian, and a couple people that have filed as independent. I don't know if they've got anywhere near the number of signatures they need.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of people running, and I have no clue how it's going to go. There's one guy that likes to claim that he's a Liberty Republican that's one of the people running for the Republican nomination. He's probably going to lose absolutely horribly. Andy Sanborn.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter what their names are. Because
he's going to most likely lose.
Yeah.
Some establishment Republican's going to get the nomination. It's one of those seats that has flipped back and forth Republican, Democrat, and it doesn't really matter who winds up getting elected.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard for me to really care that much, Milton. I mean, do you pay attention? You really care about this stuff?
Yes, I do.
Do you think it's going to matter in New York State where you live, how this turns out?
Well, if Larry Sharp can do better than expected, maybe.
Now, that's who? The Libertarian candidate?
Libertarian running for governor in New York. If he gets 50,000 votes, then the Libertarians get ballot access for the next election.
Has that ever happened in New York?
And he came 80 votes away from being... Well, there's a poll that came out that showed him ahead of the Republican because of how bad the Republican candidate for governor is.
Okay. So he's ahead of the Republican, but does that mean he's got like 10%? What does that mean?
The poll that I saw had him at like 20.
Ooh. All right, then. Are they going to let him in a debate?
That's a really good question.
In New York State, they do let third-party candidates in debates.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you watch any of the Vermont debates. A lot of times they'll...
I don't watch the debates in New Hampshire.
Well,
there generally aren't debates in New Hampshire.
I've watched some of your debates, Darryl.
Yeah, I put things on, and those are generally the ones that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Milton, you're in New York. It is the 50th least free state of all of the states in the United States.
Yeah.
In fact,
their score could be cut in half because they're so negative.
You mean it could be doubled?
No. They have a negative score.
Oh.
So
okay,
if you cut their negative score in half, they would still be the 50th state.
But what if you just remove New York City from the equation? Would that help New York State
It would help
at
them
all?
a little, probably.
I don't know. You would have to ask the people behind the Freedom in the 50 State rankings.
Yep.
Go ahead, Milton.
It definitely would. And what's embarrassing is that California came ahead of us.
Oh, yeah, big time. They were way ahead of New York in that ranking. They were at number 49, but as Darryl's pointing out, there was a huge gap between 49 and 50. Milton, thanks for the call tonight.
Wait. Milton, just do what Darryl does. Just watch wrestling.
Well,
That's
Darryl
not
does
all
a lot more
I
than
do.
that.
Well,
Darryl does a lot of political
action.
action.
He does a lot of stuff, but I mean, as far as, you know, because he says he's into it. He's into the Dems versus Repubs. He's in the
Milton is. Yeah. Oh, so you're saying wrestling would be better spent than following the Republicans and Democrats?
Yeah, it's entertaining. I mean, if you're looking for the entertainment value,
there's more babes on wrestling too. So like,
sure,
more. Not pretty girls in politics. They just don't exist. Thanks for the call, Milton. I appreciate it, man. Good luck there in New York. Now, if you are a libertarian and you are, living in New York or California or some other place, which is not a free place, why not make the move to New Hampshire? Why not, especially New York? I mean, you're talking about moving a few hundred miles maximum to the east, right? If you're over in the western part of New York. If you're in the eastern part of New York, it's like 2 hours, and you're in New Hampshire. Right. No big deal. Why not?
It's like 2 hours from Albany to Keene.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And then you're going to be around more libertarians than you could ever possibly know, because there's a constant migration of libertarian-minded people coming here, as the three of us had done. We did not know each other before moving to Keene, New Hampshire. There are people moving to Manchester, moving to Portsmouth. This is the crypto mecca, a cryptocurrency mecca. Just today, I got a new business, well, sort of new old business. One of the original businesses in downtown Keene that was taking crypto years ago, taking Bitcoin. They'd sort of fallen off the radar. I got them back on board today. Now they're taking Dash. They got Bitcoin. They can take Litecoin. So if you want to get your hair done in Keene for cryptocurrency, you can do that. You got a car you need your car worked on? I was there helping them do some cash out today on their crypto over at the automotive shop here in town. You can get your car repaired for cryptocurrency. There's now a dentist that's taking cryptocurrency in Keene, and we're hoping, I don't want to spoil it, but we're hoping to have an energy supplier at some point taking cryptocurrency. Nice. I won't say what kind of energy because I don't want to spoil it, because this is not a done deal yet. But the more activists we can get here, whether you be a inside the system political activist, you want to work with the Libertarian Party or the Republicans or Democrats or whatever you want to do, start the Pirate Party of New Hampshire, you want to do political action, there's plenty of that to be done here. There's also stuff outside the system, like building the crypto economy here, which is, I think, some of the most fun and rewarding activism that we can do, because we're actually helping our neighbors actually get more wealthy. Because we had our fun doing the civil disobedience here in Keene, and that stuff will live on in infamy forever.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna hear the end of that for many, many more years to come.
But that was important work to do as well. It's just I think crypto's better activism because people can benefit directly from it rather than just doing some sort of thing that's controversial to get people talking.
Right.
Cryptocurrency can actually get people wealthy if they hold on to it, if it continues to go up in value. And of course, Bitcoin, it's been a pretty darn good week for Bitcoin over the last week. Not only that, the last month for Bitcoin has been quite good. It's now over $8,000 per Bitcoin today. So that's good news. Maybe we'll get to another record high after a few more months, or maybe it'll crash and burn. But one thing, according to CCN, which is a cryptocurrency news network, the Fed chairman is on the attack against cryptocurrency. We'll tell you what he has to say coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh, My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free. Bring up whatever's on your mind here. Our number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. If that describes you, you should go over to Liberty.menu, where you can list your business, so other libertarians and voluntarists and liberty-loving anarchists can find your business and maybe do business with you. Perhaps you're leaving some money on the table, as they say, if you don't have your business listed over at Liberty.menu. Only one way to find out, and that's to go and put your business there. It's a Libertarian Business Directory. Also, there's entries for events and digital content creators. So whatever you do, if you're a liberty-minded person, you really ought to be listed at liberty.menu. Unless, of course, you don't want people to know that you're a libertarian. If you want to keep in the closet, then you probably shouldn't go there. But if you're willing to put yourself out there and have other libertarians find you and do business with you, then go to liberty.menu because it's free. So if you do a business, why wouldn't you want free advertising to other people who have a similar mindset as you? Liberty.menu can help you with that. Once again, liberty.menu. You can use code FTL on your user profile. That'll get you a Free Talk Live listener badge. Bitcoin, back above $8,000 per Bitcoin. Woohoo! Not a record high. In fact, not even half of its record high. Its record high was at about 19,000 US dollars per Bitcoin back in December of 2017. And so, obviously, the people that bought Bitcoin for the first time ever at $18,000 or $19,000, they're still hurting if they are still holding on. And the mainstream media, of course, loves to trot out all of these old money, big banker, government regulator types to talk about how dangerous cryptocurrencies are and how scary they are and how bad they are.
You know the voice that just went through my head when you mentioned the old money? Do you remember the Smith Barney commercials from back when we were kids?
I don't know what that is.
They were a financial advisor firm. They got bought out by some big giant conglomerate thing a while back.
Gotcha.
But they had commercials that ran, and it was a couple of old, like grizzled old guys. We make money the old-fashioned way. We earn it.
That sounds familiar now that you mention that.
But when you mention the old money,
that's what you think of.
That's the thing that always runs through my head,
right.
Is those old guys from the Smith Barney ad.
This guy is Jerome Powell, who, first time I've heard his name, apparently he's the new Federal Reserve chairperson guy, head of the Federal Reserve. So this used
So Yellen is gone?
Yellen's gone. And Yellen, didn't she replace Greenspan or no? It was
Bernanke.
Bernanke replaced Greenspan, and then Yellen, and now this guy.
This guy took the office February of this year.
Jerome Powell, who became Fed chair in February, succeeded fellow cryptocurrency critic Janet Yellen, said on Capitol Hill recently that, quote, relatively unsophisticated investors see the asset go up in price and they think, this is great, I'll buy this. In fact, there is no promise of that. There are investor and consumer protection issues as well, continued Powell, whose comments were recorded by CNBC, adding that cryptocurrencies should not be considered real currencies since they have no intrinsic value. What is the intrinsic value in the U.S. dollar?
The full faith and credit of the United States government.
Military.
So what's the actual intrinsic value of the U.S. dollar?
Guns.
Faith is not a intrinsic value, is it?
But it's not faith, it's guns.
That's true. They will force people to accept their dollars.
Yeah.
But that's not an intrinsic value, is it?
No. The intrinsic value is, well, one could argue. Hold on. One could argue the intrinsic value is either zero or the cost of the paper and the ink.
The ink.
And maybe the energy used to create the thing, but there's no real discernible difference. And yeah, I realize there's a mild difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill because the 100 has that little stripe in it, and there's like different hologram sort of things.
They don't even make them different sizes in the U.S. They're all the same size.
Otherwise, there's no real discernible difference between the amount of energy and supplies that go into a $1 bill versus a $100 bill versus a 50, a 20, a 10, or a 5, or a 2.
So just for the record, the definition, according to Google, of intrinsic is that which belongs naturally and is essential. So the natural value
zero
of the dollar is close to zero, right? Whatever the printing costs basically are.
A few cents.
Why is it worth something to people? Well, because it's basically mass brainwashing and the idea that it's legal tender, which is where the government forces businesses to accept the dollar. That's what it means when your dollar, if you pull it out, if you have a dollar in your pocket or purse or whatever, you pull it out, it says payment for all, to be used as payment for all debts, public or private.
Right.
There's some wording like that on there. And that means that if you have a debt with somebody in the United States, this landmass of the United States, and you do not accept dollars as payment for that debt, the government could come after you.
Correct.
And that's legal tender.
When you go to the store, the store takes my stuff in exchange for goods and services, so therefore it's got value.
Your stuff? What do you mean?
Well, when I go to the grocery store and I buy stuff, and I give them these pieces of paper,
correct,
they accept the pieces of paper in exchange for the stuff.
Right. No, they have value, obviously, but it's not intrinsic.
Right.
It's extrinsic, if you will.
And people get hung up on the value part of intrinsic value. But they're like, but I can take it to the store and they give me stuff in exchange for the thing, so therefore value. That's not what we're saying. We're saying the intrinsic value, when you remove the legal tender laws, the U.S. dollar is not backed by a commodity.
Correct. Which it used to be at one time. They used to be silver certificates instead of Federal Reserve notes, and you could, in theory, go to a Federal Reserve location and redeem those certificates for the silver that was backing them. You can't do that anymore.
Thank you, Richard Nixon.
Right, even if you still have a silver certificate, and I think I've got one here in the house somewhere that I received at one point when I was a cashier, and I held on to it.
Right.
You can't take that in and actually get the silver for it. So, again, this is the Federal Reserve chairman who's on the attack against cryptocurrencies, claiming they're not real currencies since they have no intrinsic value. Well, the value that is intrinsic within Bitcoin is the code. Right. Bitcoin is software. It was written by somebody calling themselves Satoshi Nakamoto, or maybe more than one person, who knows? We don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. But the person or persons who wrote Bitcoin created intrinsic value within this system because the code is that good. It's basically uncrackable. It can't be hacked. It can't be stopped. It can't be taken down. Now, had Bitcoin never caught on, then you could argue that, well, there's not really much value in that code. But there's a lot of value in the code because now Bitcoin is at $8,000 per Bitcoin, and what is it, 17 million Bitcoin exist. So you're talking about well over $100 billion in market cap behind Bitcoin. There's a lot of value there, even though it's this digital currency. The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, Game of Thrones, banned from prison, a certain prison. Darryl, you've got the story. We'll tell you about it coming up, and this is Free Talk Live.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online. Someone else pre-internet who realized that attention is fragile? Motown Records founder Berry Gordy. In the early 60s, when his label dominated the charts, he'd bring a dozen real people into the Hitsville, USA studios and audition songs. And he'd ask, if you were down to your last dollar, would you spend it on this record or would you buy a sandwich? Today, attention span seems like an oxymoron. For tips on cutting through the clutter, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free if you want. You can take control of the airwaves here on the radio. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Also, don't forget you need to know about the Blink home security system. If you don't yet have one of these things, well, they are super affordable. It's so easy to get them set up. It really could not be any easier, and I know that because I've actually gone through the process of setting them up. You can go and get yours over at blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. And that'll get you 15% off the Blink home security system, which is already very affordable. And you're going to save even more because you're a Free Talk Live listener. They are wireless cameras, meaning that you unbox when you receive the shipping. You unbox it, you unpack, you put the batteries in the cameras. They include the batteries in the box. And then you just put the cameras up around your home wherever you want and set it all up via a Wi-Fi enabled device. It is that easy, and you're up and rolling with a home security system. Or maybe you got a small office. I think this would work for that too. Blinkprotect.com/FTL. Save yourself 15% on the Blink home security system. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys and save 15% at blinkprotect.com/FTL. All right, so if you want to comment on Bitcoin, you're certainly welcome to do that. It's nice to see it kind of on a comeback, a bit of a comeback price-wise. And, of course, we're continuing to see cryptocurrency on the rise here in use in real life in Keene, New Hampshire. But, Darryl, let's change gears. Let's go to the prison system, where at least one prison has banned the Game of Thrones books.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of luxuries that prisoners get when they're incarcerated. And,
although you get more in prison than you do in jail, from what I understand.
Books are one of the few luxuries that you get, right?
Correct.
But apparently, reading Game of Thrones is not always one of them. This from Cinema Blend. They say one might understand, given the series' sexual nature and gratuitous violence, although that's not the reason.
Really?
The book, A Song of Ice and Fire, was banned from one prison, according to a recent article from an inmate within the institution. Apparently, the books are considered contraband for a completely different reason that might sound a bit silly.
I bet it does. Let's hear it.
A book, A Game of Thrones, was withheld because it contained maps. Maps are contraband. The
Fictional
inmate says,
maps.
I guess I won't be escaping Westeros. Yes, fictional maps of not a real place.
Wow.
That's right.
That's dumb.
Some prisons have banned copies of the Game of Thrones books due to them containing maps of Westeros. The ban sounds a bit extreme, considering Westeros is a fictional location, and that a prisoner could not gain any real-world knowledge from deciphering a map of that area.
Is it also illegal in this prison to, or against the rules, to draw a map of a fictional place?
Oh, let's continue.
Okay. Wait, there are a lot of books out there, especially fantasy and science fiction, who have maps.
I guess
in
they're
them.
banned.
So I mean, what about Lord of the Rings?
Not allowed.
If there's a map, would be banned from this particular place.
You have to get the map-free version.
They say it might even be helpful to the show's fan base to have prisoners analyzing Westeros, as they might be able to explain how Dany managed to fly cross-country on her dragon so quickly in Season 7. That's one of the characters.
But that's a movie thing. If they were reading the books, that nonsense wouldn't have happened.
But
because it doesn't exist yet.
Are you a fan of this show?
Hold on. But they would have the map, and they could look at the map and try to figure it out. So Conan is a book purist.
Okay.
In the
Hold on, are you a fan of these
Song of Ice and Fire
books?
series?
I'm a fan of the books.
Game of Thrones.
The books.
Okay.
Of
the books. He does not like the TV show because the
seen the
TV show diverts from the books.
The first season's all right, but then second season starts to get off a little bit, and then third, fourth. By the time you get to the fourth, it's just so.
Now, is that because now look, I'm asking these questions as somebody who has only seen 2 episodes. I'm not a fan of the show.
I have listened to all of the audiobooks, and I've watched every episode of the TV show.
Have you read any of the books?
I've listened to the audiobooks.
Okay, I guess that's the same thing.
Which is the same thing. I have consumed the books.
So you are a total fan, and you see that they're just different plot lines, right? They're just different explorations of characters in the same universe.
A lot more characters in the books, and if they were going to do a, actual true to the book series, they would have to have so many more episodes per season.
That's always the way.
They would have to have
one season,
so
one
many
book?
more. The first 3 or 4 seasons were basically the first few books, and then season 5 contained most of the 5th book, and then went a little past, and there's a book that's supposed to be released sometime. It keeps getting pushed back.
So does it just
George R.R. Martin's probably going to die before it gets published.
Isn't he one of the, isn't he active in the creation of the show, the author guy?
He, in the first few seasons, would produce one of the shows, but he consults with the writers.
Right.
And he has told them, here's how I want the series to end.
So he's not out on, he's not been pushed out. He's still involved in the creation of this.
He could have as much involvement as he wants. He has said that he wants to focus on finishing this last book.
Now, shouldn't that affect... Conan, I don't know where you're coming from with this. Like I said, I'm sort of an outside observer here. I don't know a whole lot about the series. I watched a couple episodes years ago, and I just
didn't like them.
No, it wasn't that I didn't like them. I just didn't pick up and continue with that. So what I wanted to ask Conan, if he's a book purist, why? What is it that's offensive to you about a story on television or a teleplay version of a story going off in a different direction?
I've never used the word purist to describe myself in this way.
I'm using
That's what he said.
the term because of how you respond to the TV
I would say
show.
simply that the book is 10 times better. And this is usually the case. It's very, very rare whenever there's a good movie that comes out after a book does. For example, Hitchhiker's Guide is a prime example that I can.
You think that's better than the book?
It started out as a radio series, a radio program, and then it got turned into a television series, and then it got turned into a book. So that's a weird evolution.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Very
book came
strange
later.
evolution. But it's just so much better. And then when they,
why is it better? The characterization's better. If you don't, if you're reading the book, what's better about the books?
There's much more. There's the availability to describe the characters the way that the author intended them versus what Hollywood is trying to sell us. So you have one person, Martin, who's, don't know the guy. I've never even heard of interviews with the guy, but he had an idea. It's very dark. It's very gritty, and it's very what I would consider hard. It's hardcore.
Yeah, a lot of people die.
The show is also in that light, but it tries to sell the sex and the nudity and the just these. It goes too far and to sell.
Too titillating is what you're saying.
To sell what Hollywood is basically what their bread and butter, what they live off of, and they start to change the book.
Right, because, again, if they were to stay completely true to the books, the shows would have to be a lot longer. They'd have to have a lot more cast. They'd have to spend a lot more money. So for simplification, they've taken some of the minor characters and sort of like just merged things together. Right.
Yeah.
And now I will finish the series, but I just
the book series or the
the books.
TV?
I'm caught up on the book series, and like Darryl said,
just waiting on that final book. For
Martin's
George
probably going to die
do.
before he ever finishes it.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to be kind of weird because the show has changed so much that how is he going to go into the next book? Because so many aspects of the book have changed due to the. So is he going to be?
Wait.
Is he going to be true to his book series, or is he going to be true to the television series as well?
Why would he write a book that's a sequel to the TV show?
Exactly.
That's not what he's doing. Conan is speculating about something.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Conan makes weird speculation.
Okay, is he going to be true to the book series,
or is
he going to be true to the television series?
He's not a writer of the television series.
He's there. He is a consultant.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you start a story and then completely go off in a different direction?
Because they have gone off in a completely different direction.
They're going to end at the same spot. They're getting there two different ways.
Supposedly. More on the way here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. A prison has banned these books over maps existing within the pages. It's Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops. Get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Imagine this is you. You're working late when you get an alert on your smartphone. Your motion-activated Blink security camera picked up something at home. You pop open your Blink app and see the silhouette of a man peering through your kitchen window. The job of a home security system is to help stop crime. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. Blinkprotect.com/FTL to save 15%.
Hi, I'm Patrick Kolbeck, and I'm running for governor. In the wake of the adoption of Common Core in 2010, Michigan's education system has been in a steady decline. In order to regain our former reputation for education excellence, we need to dump Common Core and get the feds and state government out of the classroom. We need to refocus education upon parents, teachers, and students. Under my service as governor, our schools will get the resources they need without any micromanagement of the classroom. Principled Solutions prioritize your best interests, not lobbyists. Paid for by Patrick Kolbeck for governor.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Free Talk Live.
This was the quote from the DEA's paperwork. Only products that were primarily intended or designed for use in injecting, ingesting, inhaling, or otherwise introducing marijuana and other controlled substances into the human body.
Injects marijuana?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how out of touch these people are.
They're trying to make it look like marijuana users are strung
Injecting
out
things.
heroin junkies.
Right.
And it's just not true.
No.
Look, if you were to ever even try to put plant material in a syringe and inject that into your veins,
It's going to go poorly for you.
it's going to work once. You're going to get high one last time if you even make it to that point.
Yeah. That's not a good idea.
Never in the history of marijuana consumption has anyone ever injected it into their veins.
Yeah. Kids, don't try that at home.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you're invited to join us here toll free. The number, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype as well. Skype username, LRN.FM. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Don't forget, we've also got Discord. The Discord on-air call-in line room is open and available to you at discord.lrn.fm. We're talking a little bit pop culture here, but also an issue surrounding pop culture. In this case, the Game of Thrones books, or at least one book of the Game of Thrones, has been denied access to a prison. I forget where it was.
The article from Cinema Blend did not specify. They do link over to a longer post from the inmate
I think it's worth
somewhere
naming.
in Maryland.
Yeah, I think it's worth naming whichever prison it is.
The Maryland Correctional Institute for Women.
Oh, all right then. Not allowing the Game of Thrones book because it has a map, or more than one map, of a fictional location, which is ridiculous to ban something like that, but that just goes to show the completely arbitrary and capricious rules that these prisoners have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's just so stupid. There's an organization called Prison Legal News, actually, that I've actually had the pleasure of receiving on a monthly basis for several years here at the studio. And it's a sort of a newsprint magazine publication that gets sent to prisoners all around the country. And the interesting thing about Prison Legal News is how they fund themselves. Yeah, there are advertisements. So if you're looking through it, there's attorneys that are advertising. There's maybe, girls. You can
pen pals.
Yeah, you can you can get pictures of women sent to you if you're a prisoner. So these are advertisements mostly targeted at
asterisk. You might be able to get pictures. I've pulled up the blog post, and we'll dig into the blog post a little bit more because she talks about some of the other things that she has been prevented from receiving.
Is that my Prison Legal News over there? If so, can you hand that to me? Because there was a really interesting article in the most recent issue.
Now, do you think that they're really worried about these maps, or do you think some warden or some bailiff is just being mean?
Let's continue with the Cinema Blend article.
Yeah, please.
Here. Kimberly Rico wrote about this in a letter to the Marshall Project that says that the rules are made for a reason. She mentioned that greeting cards and things with glue are considered contraband because they can be disguised as liquid drugs. And, quote, there are plenty of other sneaky ways people on the inside have gotten items from those who send letters. Additionally, what may look like a map of Westeros in the Game of Thrones book could have actually been switched out to contain blueprints of the prison.
Facility.
So a prisoner could make their escape. It's highly unlikely, of course, but prisoners have nothing but time on their hands. This from Cinema Blend. Prisoners have nothing but time on their hands to cook up schemes like that. So perhaps this is one of those cases where it's better safe than sorry. Additionally, it seems logical that someone could just snip out the pages containing the map in the book altogether, and a prisoner could read them without worry. Now,
yeah, but
let's
that would
jump
require
over.
the bureaucrats to actually do something with some amount of time required,
Right.
whereas instead of actually looking and seeing, do these look like facility maps? You know, because they had to find the maps to say, oh, we can't let this in, right? So, like, somebody sent a Game of Thrones book to a prisoner.
Right.
Whoever it is that screens the things that come in, flips through the pages. Oh, there's a map in here. They didn't bother to discern whether that map was an actual map of the facility, which would
Correct.
be relatively simple to, glance at and
Right.
see. So instead, they just said, nope, map, nope, map.
Yep.
They, How hard would it be to tell the difference between a map of a fictional place, a world with what is it? There's like a big ice thing or something, like a wall.
The ice wall, yeah.
Ice wall. Yeah, so like how hard would it be to determine that, okay, yeah, this isn't actually a map of our facility. It's fine, let it in. That would require some discerning between these bureaucrats, and they're not paid for that.
Right. So
and they might not have the IQ
maybe
to make that determination. It might be, hey, you know what? We know you guys are
no.
Yeah, just if you see a map, just go ahead and flag it. Don't even think about it. We don't want anything slipping through.
No cash. No checks,
no cash, no checks.
Stickers, glitter,
right.
greeting cards, Polaroids, magic markers, crayons.
Right.
Those are all things that are also banned from the Maryland Correctional Institute for Women.
Oh, so what I was going to tell you was Prison Legal News, the way they fund themselves. So they send their magazine, which is a monthly publication, to prisoners all over the place. If a prison rejects it, if a prison says, can't have this, then they sue, and they win.
That's how they make their money.
Yep, they just keep suing prisons until they let their publication in, because it's clear free speech. There's no reason to deny something like this. It's established. They've been suing forever over this, and they win every single time in a settlement.
And yet they keep denying and getting sued, and so
they just keep making money.
But it's not the same.
It's not
prison
the same prison, right? So
that
they just keep going after.
sued.
You'd think that
prisons.
these prisons would have their own magazine. Prisons Are Us.
Oh, they do. They have industry magazines for that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, by the way, if you see one of these, make sure you just let it go, because otherwise you're going to get sued, because 500 of us have already gotten sued.
And you're going to lose, and you deserve to lose in that particular case. So kudos to Prison Legal News for doing that work.
Yeah, she says obviously the prohibition on escape plans or bomb-making recipes makes sense, but the prison's other prohibitions are, shall we say, a bit less immediately obvious in their rationale. Apparently, the in-between middle space of a Polaroid is the ideal place to hide drugs.
Yeah,
the fold of a greeting card,
thinking.
too, might be concealing more than wishes for a happy birthday.
You could totally put some LSD in between the Polaroid.
And glitter, stickers, and glue can disguise spots of a liquefied drug squirted onto paper. For decades, the mailroom has been primarily staffed by one person, whom we call Miss Beatrice. I've never actually met her, but her spidery handwriting leads me to believe she's elderly and possibly arthritic. Her behavior, or rather her endeavors to the by-the-book, strict, but nobody's perfect. Hence, so she starts off by saying that she opened up a piece of mail and a $10 bill was in it. Cash is prohibited, so she very quickly put it back in an envelope and mailed it to her family, because she wanted to make sure that it wasn't some kind of setup to get in trouble.
Right, because if they toss your cell and you've got money in there, then you are in trouble.
So she says, hence the $10 bill. In her defense, these rules are countless. When Beatrice determines that a given piece of mail is in violation of one, she removes the offending portion and replaces it with a withheld mail notice, which in turn features a half page of reasons with tiny squares next to each one that she can check, all that apply.
I remember they didn't let, when I was in jail for civil disobedience for 58 days, they actually didn't let, somebody wrote me a letter on some kind of letterhead that had like lemons all around it, and I guess it was like a scratch and sniff or something like that. I don't know, but they would not let that through.
Yeah, it could have been acid.
Something like that.
I remember when Derek J was incarcerated for a while, I sent him just like a bunch of random stuff that happened to have been laying around at the Keene Activist Center. I wound up getting all of the stuff back, but they took pictures and gave Derek the pictures of the stuff.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't have to do that. Another story from while I was in jail was I was sent some comic books from the folks over at Big Head Press, and one of them was a really entertaining comic called Lemuse, which I highly recommend. I mean, I'm not a huge comic fan or whatever, but this one was really well done. And there's a scene in Lemuse where it's basically a superhero kind of comic book. This superhero can kind of mold reality, essentially. Anyway, is
he French?
It's a she, actually. Lemuse is female. Anyway, this scene involves a bunch of Nazis that end up having sex with one another, which, of course, Nazis wouldn't normally be seen doing, but that's what the power was that Lemuse had over them. And so there's some nudity in this particular scene in the book. And apparently, you're not supposed to get items with nudity in them in jail, and so this one slipped through the jail censors.
So some other things that were prevented.
And it's probably still in the jail library too, for
prevented
people to
from
read.
going to this particular inmate. Someone tried to send her a bookmark. That was not allowed because it had a piece of ribbon, and apparently ribbon is
Choke
contraband. Pictures from her daughter's wedding reception were withheld because alcoholic beverages were visible in the photos, and alcohol is prohibited in prison.
Wow.
She says that one mail call, my friend Cindy received an envelope. There was no letter inside, no withheld mail notice. The only thing rattling around was a dismembered return address sticker and the piece of envelope it was stuck on.
Coming up, an update on the Manchild. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but the one that was most recently in the news for the 30-year-old guy who got kicked out of his parents' house after a court order, that one.
Yes.
Darryl, you've got a story about that coming up. Plus, maybe we'll talk about MGTOW, the men going their own way. Because, Conan, you're fired up about something about that. We'll talk about it on the way here. Hour 3's next.
How well and how fast does Heart and Body Extract work to improve blood circulation? Listen.
My name is Ellis, and I am 66 years old, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed as having clogged arteries. I had 70% blockage in one artery leading to my heart. They wanted me to go on Plavix, but I refused, knowing the negative side effects.
Heart and Body Extract is a unique balance, synergy, and proportion of herbs reaching from head to toe at maximum absorption around 95% at the cellular level.
Within the first month, I felt a dramatic difference. The heaviness in my legs was reduced, and within 2 months, I felt completely normal.
Your natural organic herbal formula for heart health is Heart and Body Extract. Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract. Call 866-295-5305, 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.61 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,217. Antiwar.com reports U.S. media coverage suggests hostility towards diplomatic engagement with Russia as a matter of course. A new Harris X poll, however, suggests that this is not the view of the majority of the American public, with 54% approving of President Trump inviting Russian President Vladimir Putin to the White House for a second summit. The first summit, held earlier this month in Helsinki, Finland, was seemingly successful despite it being followed by negative media coverage and attacks from lawmakers in both parties. Trump followed this by inviting Putin for a second summit, this time in the United States. American public support for such a summit does not extend to Congress, however. On Tuesday, congressional leadership announced that if Putin does come to the White House, he will not be invited to address Congress or visit the Capitol building. House Speaker Paul Ryan says addressing Congress is something we reserve for allies. Ryan added he was only okay with Trump and Putin meeting so long as the message is stop violating our sovereignty. Congress focuses heavily on allegations of Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, and there is bipartisan consensus, despite a lack of evidence to that effect, that Putin was behind all of it personally. Protracted vilification of Putin would make a visit to Congress to deliver a speech a difficult matter at any rate. Explicitly saying he is not invited to do so, however, is clearly intended to be a blow to diplomacy. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports New Jersey Attorney General Gerber Gruelle announced Tuesday that he has asked prosecutors to adjourn all cannabis cases in municipal courts until at least September 4th. In a letter to prosecutors, the Attorney General said he is asking for the adjournment so his office can develop appropriate guidance on how to handle cannabis cases as state lawmakers decide whether to allow for recreational use of cannabis. The request came after a meeting with Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop, who supports full legalization of marijuana. Fulop said this is a huge win for Jersey City, the state of New Jersey, and most importantly, the people who have been impacted by the creation of a criminal record due to a simple marijuana arrest. Gruelle's move unofficially decriminalizes marijuana for the time being, but New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said on Monday that full legalization is a better avenue for the state. Murphy told reporters, on the surface, decriminalization is intoxicating. You think it's a step in the right direction, but it actually leaves the business in the hands of the bad guys. Your kids are exposed, it's not regulated, it's not taxed, so I'll leave the specifics of that to the Attorney General, but that's a conceptual answer. Sharon LeChair, spokeswoman for the Attorney General's office, pointed out that the letter does not instruct police to stop making marijuana arrests. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal judge on Tuesday said the U.S. government appeared on track to reunite by Thursday's deadline most of the families separated at the U.S.-Mexico border as part of the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy towards undocumented immigration. The judge, however, put off deciding on a petition by civil rights groups to postpone deporting any of the parents for 7 days after they get their children back. A temporary order currently bars deportations of the families until the matter is resolved. U.S. District Judge Dana Sabraw, who last month gave federal immigration officials until July 26 to return 2,500 children to their parents, commended them on Tuesday for the remarkable achievement of having largely accomplished that task. As of Monday, at least 879 parents had been reunited with their children, according to a joint court filing by the federal government and the American Civil Liberties Union. Another 463 parents were no longer in the United States, but their children were still here, and it was unclear when those families would be reunited. The federal government cannot say whether those parents were deported or left voluntarily. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Big tech news this week as Microsoft has unveiled its new generation Xbox One. Designers say the console's revolutionary new voice command feature makes it easier than ever for the Xbox to control its users. According to Microsoft spokesman Don Matrick, quote, "The Xbox One is programmed with a host of simple voice commands that you will respond to instantly. In addition to phrases like jump, shoot, and insert game disc, users will also understand more complicated instructions like download Call of Duty Update or come into the room and turn on Xbox."
The Xbox One tells us what games to play, what music to listen to, what shows to watch. Watch TV. And with that simple command, I'm watching live TV.
The new Xbox's high-tech sensors can also detect your expression and tell when you're looking away from the television.
Andy, look back at the TV.
Microsoft says the new Xbox can also command you using your smartphone or tablet. TechBuzz is raving, quote, "It's the immersive obedience experience we've been waiting for."
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program. As always, you're invited to join us here toll free at 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Here in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Darryl, we're going to go into some prep you brought in for the show tonight about the Manchild, the most recent Manchild. Not the one who calls the show. That's the guy from New York, Dave.
This guy's also from New York.
Correct. But
wait, does Dave refer to himself as Manchild?
No,
or is that something that you guys have nicknamed him?
He's put out numerous videos saying, "I'm not a man-child." And it's one of those thou doth protest too much.
Well, yeah, but who started it? So he is
trolls.
Somebody on Craigslist rant.
Yeah. Reddit or Craigslist?
No. So the guy
he would call in to complain about people on the Craigslist rants and raves section.
I didn't know this existed.
I didn't know it existed either. I've never actually been to look for it, so I'll take his word for it. But
I know that the section exists.
Okay, so this guy who called Free Talk Live years ago, and we haven't heard from him in several months, but he has called this year.
Right.
Maybe a few months. Anyway, this guy is sort of known as this as being a man-child. He's had a group of internet people who've kind of been following him around, basically, and trolling him incessantly.
Right.
Because he loves to fight people on the internet while at the same time saying he doesn't like being bothered when he's on the internet. So he basically creates all of the situations that he's bothered by because he's mean to people.
And then
online.
he'll call in and complain about different forums where they make like fake nude photos of people, and
he complains about
gets
everything.
upset because they won't do whatever weird request he has.
He's always in some kind of situation online where he's in a conflict and he's mad, and it's usually because of something he did.
I'll be damned. There is a rants and raves section.
How about that?
And some guy is bad mouthing Tech Motorsports.
There you go. He's
so
right.
I guess if you don't know how to use Yelp,
you go there.
But I mean, who is actually reading this except man babies and
I don't know, people who are bored on the internet, I guess. But so now we're talking about this other man-child, the one
Michael
in New York
Rotundo
City.
from Camillus, New York.
Yes, who was in the news, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. He was in the news because he has a child and is a child at the same time because, well, it doesn't take a whole lot to make another baby. And so he's got himself a kid. There's some sort of custody issue. He was living at home with his parents. His parents got tired of him being there and basically said, you need to get your S together and get out of here. And he refused. And so they went to court to remove their own son from their own home.
Correct. They had to get an eviction notice.
Right, because if you just try to kick your own son out of the house, then apparently he can go to the court and force the court to force you to allow him to stay. So you have to go through the eviction process.
2 weeks ago when I took my vehicle inspection to court, the guy right before us, that's exactly what he was doing, and it's what he has to go through. He actually rents out to these people, Section 8 types.
Yep.
And he's dealing. I hear him talking on the radio all the time, having to deal with these nincompoop.
Well, he doesn't have to. He could refuse to rent to.
Yeah,
Section 8 people,
all he would have to do is require a credit rating or something, and
That would
he
lock,
would
lock
prevent
him right
he would
out.
prevent a lot of people from getting in there. But
he wants the money.
If he wants to deal with Section 8ers, and
he wants the money, so it's hard to feel sorry for that. But
it's so easy these days, and every state, backs these people up, and they make the renter jump through fiery hoops. I'm sorry,
you mean the landlord?
The landlord.
The term is renters' rights. And basically, it allows losers to just run all over top of their landlords.
Right. There are some places like the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Not that it makes a difference that it's a Commonwealth, but if somebody is behind on their rent and it's December, you can't kick them out during December. You've got to wait until it warms up.
And the electric company has to jump through the same hoops. They can't turn your electric off during December.
Yeah, so let's talk about Michael Rotondo, the man-child from Camillus, New York. 13 WHAM has the story. According to Judge Julie Cecil's office, Michael Rotondo on Wednesday was given 1 year of probation for failing to pay child support. He became the subject of international intrigue when his parents sought a court order to evict him from their home back in May. His parents said
paying rent for the first time ever, apparently.
That's speculation. Yeah. He might be on some government program that pays his rent. We don't know.
Could be.
His parents said that they've been trying to get their son to leave the house for several months.
Yep.
That effort included 5 written notices that the couple said they left for Michael starting February 2nd, and then they just go through and talk about the eviction that he went through. But the news here is that apparently he was given probation for failing to pay child support, and it doesn't really appear that there's a lot more to this article.
To be fair, the child support system is pretty crappy. I mean, there's a lot of guys who get screwed over by that, but it's also hard to feel sorry for this guy.
Right.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if this guy's living behind Hannaford's in 6 months.
Store.
I
with
would
all
be
the rest of the homeless.
I would be surprised because that would require him to get to New Hampshire from wherever Camillus, New York is.
Or whatever New York has for grocery stores.
might have
He's going to be out there living with the homeless, the tent shelter, tent city.
So, MGTOW, Conan. You said you want to talk about MGTOW.
So,
the men going their own way.
I've been familiar with the Red Pillars. These are the guys who basically, I guess this guy would probably consider himself a Red Pillar. I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting his own blog right now, and he's complaining about how the system has worked against him. The man, he is the man, and in favor of his baby's mother. So I've known about the Red Pillars. They get screwed over a lot. It seems the system doesn't take care of them. And then just a couple, I guess a month ago, I heard incel for the first time. These are involuntary celibates. And now there's a new group, which they've been out for a while, but I'm just hearing about it for the first time. They're the MGTOWs, the men going their own ways, which are basically...
I heard about them first.
They're basically voluntary celibates.
Okay, so
incels can't get sex. These guys can, but they have decided along the way that, you know what? This gynocentric world we live in, which favors the women... And it's not
gynocentric.
Are you making that word? Are you making words up now?
Somebody made it up.
Because I know you make words up.
Well, all words were made up at some point, right? Somebody made up all of the words. Gynocentric. Now that's a new one.
You go to MGTOW.com or .org or whatever it is. They have a whole. They have an entire glossary of all these great words.
Okay, so.
They're the best words.
We did talk about this MGTOW thing on the air sometime last year, I think. It's relatively new to me, but one of our callers called in to kind of talk about what it meant to him. And if my recollection is correct, and I know we had one in our chat room last night who is actually we had a former incel who's no longer an incel because he got a girlfriend. That's what he was telling the chat room.
He's progressed.
But the MGTOWs, I thought the idea was... instead of pursuing women, they're just going their own way.
They're not.
Not that they would refuse to get together with a woman. Not that they're choosing to be celibate forever. It's just that they want to work on themselves so that if they become more attractive to women, they wouldn't necessarily refuse it.
So if you are not interested in women at all, it's called going monk.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of slip-ups where some of these MGTOWs, these supposed MGTOWs, will fall back and they will get caught up in it again. And then the next thing you know, they're publishing some YouTube video 2 months later about how they got thrashed by some girl who was taking advantage of them. It's very dramatic and it's entertaining, I have to admit. Wikipedia has lumped these guys in with libertarians and the alt-right.
That's what it says here, yeah.
Anarchists. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Let's talk more about it coming up here, what this actually means. Are you a MGTOW? Are you somebody who is a man going his or her, I guess not her, his own way?
And apparently there are 5 levels of it.
5 levels. All right, we'll get into it coming up here in moments. You can share your thoughts, and if you're part of it, we want to know. It's Free Talk Live.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Imagine this is you. You're working late when you get an alert on your smartphone. Your motion-activated Blink security camera picked up something at home. You pop open the Blink app and see the silhouette of a man peering through your kitchen window. You dial 911 and the police roll. The job of a home security system is to help stop crime, which is why I chose Blink. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available on Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com, zencash.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Refrigerated Cookie Dough. Who would you bake some love for? Find fun and easy baking ideas at tollhouse.com. Kids love doing arts and crafts projects, especially when you join in. Try channeling all that artistic energy into the kitchen and bake up some creative treats together. Think of your art supplies as the frosting, sprinkles, and decorating gels, and use cookies or cupcakes as your canvas. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free, bring up whatever you want, although we're talking once again about the MGTOW movement, or is it a movement? I guess it is. It's a group, it's a community of people on the internet, it seems like mostly, that are tired of pursuing women. That's what I understand about it, but we'll get to the actual definition here. And the levels. Yes, there are apparently 5 levels of this. So we're going to get into that. The toll-free number, if you want to join us here, is 855-450 free like freedom, 855-450-3733. Zencash is one of the most secure cryptocurrencies on the planet. 13,000 plus secure nodes around the globe backing up the Zencash network. There are very few cryptos. In fact, I think it might just be Ethereum that has more nodes in their system than Zencash. They've got more nodes than Bitcoin has full nodes. So there's more secure nodes in Zencash than full nodes in Bitcoin. That should say something. It's of course encrypted. It's of course secure, just like many cryptocurrencies. But it's also got some of the best technology in that it has zero-knowledge anonymity. It's got privacy features built right into it from the beginning. Now, you can choose to use it in a non-private way if you want, but there's also privacy if you want to use it. And coming soon, they're going to have what they call supernodes, which will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network.
They actually added those a couple days ago.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's excellent. That is good to know. So check out Zencash.com. And you can grab their official wallet. It's also available in Coinomi. Zencash.com. Head on over there and get started. Learn about it with their white paper. You will see that they're actually voluntarists that created Zencash, so they've got great philosophy, great technology. You really ought to check it out if you're into cryptocurrency. This one's worth a look. Zencash.com. As we continue here, the MGTOW movement, according to a Wikipedia piece here, which may not be the best place to go to get a definition, they say that the men going their own way is a mostly pseudonymous online community of men supported by websites and social media presences, cautioning men against serious romantic relationships with women and especially marriage. The community is part of what's more broadly termed the manosphere. MGTOW have, quote, vowed to stay away from women, stop dating, and not have children. Okay, because I thought they were just trying to go their own way, and then maybe if a woman comes along, they would be interested in that. And I thought it was about not pursuing them. They're saying they're just swearing it off.
One-night stands are all right in some situations.
Depends on the level.
Okay.
Yes, there are different levels. But yeah, basically, there's just, especially when it comes to marriage and children, there's just no incentive to basically tie yourself down to this commitment. And in their opinion, women, the task mistresses are. They're after a man to take care of them, to be the breadwinner, so that they can get fat, lazy, have kids, and
watch soap operas
all day. It's a very. I can see where this has come from. This is a direct response to the radical feminism in this country. The women are gaining more and more power every year.
So, Conan, would you say that you have honestly taken the red pill?
I do not believe that they are the oppressed gender that they claim to be.
Sure. I agree with you there.
As Mark has said many times, they're the gatekeepers. They have so much power over us.
Well, if you let them.
Yeah, if you let them.
Yeah.
Have you taken the red pill, Conan?
The red...
There's a book, right? That's where this red pill thing came from?
This comes from The Matrix.
No.
Yeah,
they take the term from the Matrix and they manipulate the term to be something other than you realize that the Matrix exists.
In the case of a man going his own way, red pillar, no, I am a red pillar, yes.
Isn't there a book, though? Isn't that what this red pill thing came from? Some kind of book?
Probably. I know there's a website.
Or maybe it's a website.
There might be a book. Yeah. So level 0.
The Wachowskis probably got all of their ideas for the Matrix from everywhere else. So I'm assuming the red pill, blue pill was from someone else. Yeah,
could be.
Nothing new under the sun.
Or somebody took what they did in the movie and just manipulated it because I think people do that all the time.
This group, they took red pill from the Matrix. Where did the Wachowskis get it? They probably got it from someone else as well.
So level 0. This is the lowest level of MGTOW. At this level, a man is viewed as having swallowed the red pill and thereby, according to MGTOW advocates, claim that men at this level, quote, embrace the idea that gender equality is a lie and is propaganda.
Okay.
It is.
Level 1, rejection of long-term relationships. At this stage, a man rejects long-term relationships, but will still partake in short-term and sexual encounters. So level 1, they might not pursue, not even like long-term committed, nothing long-term.
Not moving in with her. Okay.
Level 2, rejection of short-term relationships. In level 2, a man does not meet women for hookups or any form of short-term or sexual relationships.
So that's straight up celibacy right there.
Correct.
Level 2. Okay.
Level 3, and now that could be that they're the incels that have accepted that they are celibate. It could be somebody that voluntarily, for some reason, I don't know why. Level 3, economic disengagement. A member at this stage refuses to earn more money than is necessary for sustaining life. He views the government, this, again, according to the author at Vice and then reposted here in the wiki, he views the government as tyrannical and is trying to actively drain money from bureaucrats.
Yeah, they could have put this at like level 1. This could have been lower on the list because, I mean, I agree with that. I don't agree.
Right, but you're a libertarian.
Yeah, but I don't agree with throwing off long-term relationships or short-term relationships. But this,
yeah, why would that have to? What? They're not even related to one another.
Yeah,
like, why
I don't even know why this is
4
on there
or 3 or whatever. It has nothing to do with a relationship with another human being. It has to do with bureaucrats. What's that have to do with MGTOW?
Well, see, because. And I think I understand it because level 4 ties in here.
Okay.
Level 4 is social disengagement. At this level, the man refuses to interact with society any more than ever, such as living off the grid,
again, this could have been on another list. It could have been on another.
No. See,
I understand level 3. It is I will only make money to make myself happy. I'm not going to make money to feed kids or to feed a fat wife.
Are collecting the welfares, and I don't want to have to pay to support blah da 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 da. So therefore, just basic sustenance.
I see, and so this is about different levels of total disengagement. I see that the term disengagement is used here. Economic disengagement,
so it's not just disengaging from
women,
female companionship, or other men. It's disengaging from everybody.
I see. Okay. Views on relations with women, according to this piece here. According to columnist Martin Daubney, members of the MGTOW community believe the legal and romantic entanglements with women fail a cost-benefit analysis and risk-benefit analysis. Jeremy Nicholson, writing for Psychology Today, similarly described MGTOW as, quote, guys who have been frustrated and pushed to the point they see no further incentive to relate. They focus on making themselves happy. And ultimately, there's nothing wrong with making yourself happy. If you find that being in relationships is not making you happy, then maybe you're doing it wrong, or maybe it's just not for you.
Yep.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. There's certainly no obligation to be in a relationship with another human being. Although am interested in hearing from a MGTOW person. Conan, are you signing on with this?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I like women.
We're coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
If you like alkaline water, or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dylan Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dylan bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dylan bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dylan bottle today at dyln.co. That's dyln.co.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict, or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. We're just updated by Darryl that Zencash has now passed Ethereum on node count. So kudos to Zencash. That may make them the #1 most nodinated crypto.
The nodinator.
So we're talking about the MGTOW movement, and Conan, what was it that brought this about? I mean, because you were the one who was you wanted to talk about this.
You can thank YouTube for this. I was watching some Jordan Peterson interviews. The guy's kind of got some neat things to say, and then the next thing I know, I see this weird acronym MGTOW, and I'm like, what's this? And I got in, watched a couple of this. The publisher is a guy named Sandman. He hates women.
Okay.
But he's very entertaining. He actually reminds me of someone that we know. I'll tell you in the break. and that really drew
Chris
me to him.
Cantwell.
Like, this guy is he's a quirky guy, quirky nerdy guy.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
And it's very interesting. I feel sorry for the guy because he sounds very, very intelligent, but he seems happy. He seems like, hey, look, I'm not dating. I've got all this time to make these videos, which are probably paying him money, or either that through his patron. So he's making money off of it, and he's
spending it on himself.
He's actually reaching out to people. He doesn't sound like this guy was hurt, but he has reached out to people who have been hurt in the process. And you were asking me if I was getting into this whole red pill thing. I can empathize and sympathize with these people. My first serious relationship could have ended really badly, but I woke up real quick. So way back then, I was a man going my own way. I woke up to the fact that, hey, this woman, all I am to her is a breadwinner, and a sperm donor. That's all I'm ever going to be, and I wasn't going to have it. I got out of it quick.
So you didn't feel like that woman actually loved you or was intimate with you?
I think that she had her own version of what love is, and it was what her community, her society taught her, that it's a man taking care of you.
I see.
And I don't take care of anybody. You just ask my daughter, my 21-year-old. She'll tell you that. She'll be the first one to tell you that. I was a pretty hard dad because I was always,
Could also ask the dog.
And the dog and the cats and the animals.
You mean the dog that went missing?
Yeah, that dog. There's a reason he ran away.
That dog was an adventurer. He was an adventurer at heart, and that's all he wanted to do was
one
to leave.
final journey.
He's out there living with the turkeys. But no, I mean, I was very lucky in that my first serious relationship didn't kill me. Didn't.
But you're not jaded from it, like you said. I think you said during the break you like women, or maybe it was right when we went to break.
I am, like I said, I'm a level 0. I am very. I am very.
What was the level 0 again, Darryl?
Level 0 is a man who is viewed as, quote, having swallowed the red pill and embraces the idea that gender equality is a lie and propaganda.
Yeah, the gender gap it's a myth. It's a myth by the left.
Well, he said gender equality, and I guess that's the idea that the genders are equal.
Men and women should be treated equal under the law, given equal opportunities.
Okay.
Well, I think that people should be treated equally under the law. I don't know if you could argue that they're equal because generally men are different from women.
I embrace
a man that's 6'10" and a man that are 5'1" are going to be able to do different things well.
Sure.
I embrace equal rights all the way down the line. Equal outcome, however, no. Equity, I don't support the equity. I don't support the woman making the same as a crab fisherman or a lobster fisherman who's out there risking his life and neck and has a good chance of dying.
She should
but
make
what
the
if there's a
same
woman that is a lobster fisherman?
If she's fishing as many lobsters as the men, she should make the same amount.
Exactly, but is she going to have the strength to be able to handle all of those cages?
I don't know.
On a 48-hour period when they're out there braving the storm.
Some women do.
I'm going to say no. But if she can.
On average, they probably don't.
But if she can, I'm all for it. Go ahead and do it.
Because men tend to have more upper body strength than women.
Right, which means that there are some men that have less upper body strength than some women.
That's absolutely true.
These days, there are a lot of these guys coming out that they're sissy boys, it seems.
Hey, let's talk to Bad Slave, who's on the line on Skype with us. Go ahead, Bad Slave.
Hi, Ian, Darryl, and Conan. Thank you.
You're on the
Thank you all. Yes. Well, I just want to give a little information as usual. The red pill recently was a pretty well-viewed movie about, documentary.
Oh, it was a
that
movie.
Was supposed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 years old. I still haven't seen it yet.
I actually bought a copy of it. The woman who put the movie together, named Cassie J, very attractive young woman that has been in the movie business for a while, and she was going to try to do a hit piece on the WRA, the MRA,
the Men's
Rights Association or whatever, and she started to interview men's rights activists, and got turned around. So she's actually rejected feminism.
Interesting.
And the it's about the red pill, about waking up, about a lot of things, and it's a whole different look at stuff that's supposed to rectify everything, so that as a matter of fact, her claim is that her relationship with her husband is actually blossomed into wonderfulness since she's changed her arrangement, and she's much more appreciative of men and all of that. So I mean, it's kind of a mishmash of different red pill stuff, and I kind of consider myself a MGTOW.
A MGTOW.
MGTOW, is that what it is? Because I was divorced, and I suffered through numerous relationships over the years, with women, and I'm open to there being a good woman out there. But
plenty of fish.
I'm not spending a lot of time looking.
Well, now isn't it possible? Obviously, I don't know anything about your relationships, but isn't it possible that you are also part of the problem?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's always takes two, but
sure.
As you get, I'm 66. As you get older, you kind of hope you kind of work some of this stuff out over time, and I believe I have.
Gotcha.
But I'll tell you, I've been through some crazy stuff. Now, one of my best friends is a woman, but we're not, in that kind of a relationship. But
you're in the friend zone.
No, and I'm happily there, in this case.
Fair enough. Hey, thanks, Bad Slave, for the call tonight. I appreciate your input there on a little bit of history. Apparently, the Red Pill, a movie.
Yeah, there was a documentary, and I actually found an article titled, "I Watched It, So You Don't Have to."
Oh, okay. Written by a woman or a man?
Written by, presumably, a man, Luke Buckmaster.
Okay.
He
sounds like a man. Buckmaster.
Talks about how he's watched a lot of horrible stuff over the years, and people ask, why do you do it? He says, so you don't have to.
The toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. Coming up, we got a WGTOW on the line with us. Sarah in New Mexico is waiting, and we'll tell you more about that coming up here. You can join us. It's Free Talk Live.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit, and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Hello, this is Dr. Bill Deagle, MD of NutriMedical.com, announcing the breakthrough Red Deer Velvet DR. It delivers the protected building blocks of all organs and tissues, allowing your own stem cells as architects and engineers to regenerate you. Not since fetal life, when aging does not occur, has such an amazing Nutrimed been available to help heal you and regenerate you. Anti-aging requires that you correct mineral, activated nutraceutical, and jump the gene defects and poor diet you have to deliver the cellular tools for regeneration. You must remove old damaged cells and replace them with your young healthy cells to wind the biological clock to a younger you. Order your Red Deer Velvet DR now at NutriMedical.com 24/7 or 888-212-8871. That's NutriMedical, N-U-T-R-I, Medical, MEDICAL.com, or call our order line 888-212-8871.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. We invite you to join us here in these or many moments. There's enough time for you right now. Our number 855-450-FREE, especially if you would consider yourself a MGTOW. Now, none of the people in the studio... Well, no, you said you're a level 0, Conan. So does that mean
I think we're all level 0. We've all taken the red pill, whether we...
I have not read this book. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's not a book. I'm sorry, the DVD. I've not seen this, so I can't say anything about...
I'm not comparing it to the DVD. I'm just comparing it to the Matrix movie. It's how awake are you to what is actually going on in this world.
Well, this is specifically about relationships. It's not about what's going on in the world. I mean, they reference government bureaucrats at one level of the MGTOW thing, but I wouldn't say it's
okay. Well, that's the red pill that I'm referring to.
Okay.
But red pill that
I think they're referring to this movie, because when they talk about the red pill, it's all about
I'm still in the red pill back.
Men rights. Anyway, MGTOW, men going their own way. There's different levels of it, as we discovered. Darryl, you shared with us from the Wikipedia article. There's different levels of disconnection. So at the level 0, the person could still have a relationship. At a level 1, they would be cutting out long-term relationships. At the level 2, they would cut out any kind of hookups or short-term relationships. And then level 3 and 4 were further disconnections from society entirely. So I guess the highest level would be kind of moving out into the wilderness all by yourself, kind of the Thoreau approach. Let's go to Sarah, who I teased earlier, I said was a WGTOW. Conan, you immediately disagreed. You said Sarah is not a WGTOW. I was saying woman going her own way. And the reason I said that was because, Sarah, you have told us in the past that you do not seek relationships. You have not been in a relationship for many, many years. Is that accurate?
Well, I'm celibate, yes.
Celibate.
And,
Yeah, because I was involved in many relationships when I was younger, and I have a lot of mental illness and a lot of emotional problems that I bring into the relationships, and so I'm just better off that I leave men alone. That's what I've decided to do.
And you're leaving women alone as well. You're not getting into any kind of human, intimate relationship.
No. Yeah, I'm just leaving everybody alone.
This sounds like WGTOW, Conan. What is
celibacy is not MGTOW or WGTOW. You also have to provide for yourself. If you are leeching off of somebody else, if someone else is providing for you, then you can't be this.
Level 3.
So if Sarah,
is someone level 3 according to the definitions here.
Yeah, I don't care about this Wikipedia article.
Refuses to earn more. This is from Vice that's been reposted on Wiki. Someone who refuses to earn more money than is necessary for sustaining life and is trying to drain money from bureaucrats.
She's taking welfare. That means she's trying to drain money from bureaucrats.
And she is not going her own way. She is not celibate in the way that she says that she is. She has chosen the most efficient provider, which is government. She is being taken care of by her daddy, government.
Now, that's a strong argument there. What would you say to that, Sarah? Would you say you're a WGTOW?
Well, I guess not. I mean, the economic part of it, but as far as the celibacy, I only have sex with my dildo and my vibrator. I don't know if that's involves another person. I'm being honest about
it is
that.
with somebody you love.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the honesty.
And I think in her defense, the MGTOWs, these guys who are celibate as well, I think they're only getting their Rosie.
There's the no fap thing.
Having sex with Rosie Palmer.
Wait a minute. Can you be a MGTOW and go gay? Or do you have to go against all? Because it seems like MGTOW just has to do with women. Can you be a MGTOW at a level 3 where you're not having...
This says that they're eschewing sexual relationships.
Any sexual relationships or just women sexual relationships?
I think those two gay guys are probably happy, and they probably don't even know what a MGTOW is because they've never gotten to that level. They've never...
I'm just saying, if you're going...
Well, I have a relationship with Dick White, vibrating Dick White. I don't know if that counts.
I don't know what that is. I don't think we should get any more into that subject, Sarah, because we are on the radio. What were you calling about tonight? Go ahead.
Well, you know what? I'm so excited that I was calling in about the self-driving cars. I heard it again, and the Walmart
are the cars dating each other?
Not yet.
No, Walmart is using self-driving cars to pick up grocery shoppers that order on the computer, and then they bring them back. And of course, Phoenix is doing this because Phoenix was having self-driving cars out there many years.
So wait. Let me see if I'm following you. You're saying Walmart will send a car to pick up a shopper at their home, bring them to Walmart, allow them to do their shopping, and then bring them back home? Is that what's happening?
Well, you know what? I just heard it only like 15 seconds really quick.
Because if that's what it is, that's amazing. And I got to say, kudos to Walmart if that's actually what's going on. The idea that somebody who doesn't have their own car could actually get a courtesy ride to the grocery store is amazing. Think about how much of a pain it's got to be. You see the people with, people who don't have a car getting groceries. You see them frequently, hoofing it back on foot or trying to pile on a bicycle.
Or stealing their shopping carts.
There's that. But
TechSpot.com has an article headline, Waymo partners with Walmart to expand self-driving taxi program, now covers grocery pickup.
Meaning that they will take you to the store to get your groceries.
What it sounds like, yes.
Because the only other way would be they would deliver the groceries to you, but then they're not saying delivery, they're saying pickup. So
where is this at?
Phoenix.
TechSpot is the thing. I just read the headline.
Sarah says Phoenix. I love it, Sarah. You in favor of this?
Well, she doesn't have a computer, so she couldn't.
I'm just asking if she's in favor of it.
She's in favor of anything with self-driving cars.
Well, you know what? I was going to move to New Hampshire, but I'm thinking of Phoenix now. If I was
much better.
Move, I better go there.
Yeah, it's closer.
It's cold
here,
too.
The weather's similar. I recommend Phoenix. Sarah, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate you bringing that up. I'd actually seen the headline, and I didn't click into it to see what it was about. But I think that's really cool because, Walmart, they market to lower-income people. and a lot of lower income people don't have a car.
Skipping down into the article a little bit, the program is launching later this week in Phoenix. Or actually, it says in the Phoenix area. Waymo has not made it clear how users will take advantage of the service, nor is it evident whether or not the service will cost money. However, since the autonomous ride-hailing service is restricted to members of Waymo's early rider program, most eligible users likely already know how everything is going to work.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I don't know anything about Waymo. I've never heard of them before.
I've heard of them, but that's about
it's some kind of self-driving car.
I have heard of them.
Some kind of self-driving taxi. This is what it sounds like. I don't know anything else about it. But yeah, I'm interested to know, is it a fee-based system? I mean, presumably, if you're going to go to Walmart...
Doesn't say.
Right. If you're going to go to Walmart and buy a couple $100s worth of groceries, they'll probably take you there for free.
Right.
If you're just going to go buy a pack of gum, they're not gonna, right?
Right. So a lot of restaurants that offer food delivery have, here's a minimum delivery thing.
Right.
And if you're within, a certain range, there may not be a delivery fee. So some things, if you're within 5 miles, no fee. Outside of that, $2 delivery fee.
Or there might even be some kind of membership fee like Amazon Prime where you pay in annually or monthly.
And you get free X amount of free rides to Walmart or something like that.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Now, let's jump back to this MGTOW thing because there's a Reddit. There's actually a thread for the red pill, and there's a big, long thread where they define all of these terms.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them you can't say on the air, by the way.
I bet.
Right. I'm not going to try reading all of them because we don't have time. But their definition here for red pill, and this is the thing that you said that everybody here is one. They say red pill.
According to the MGTOW definition.
I deny. I don't know what
I'm saying that a red pill is something entirely different.
This from the Red Pill Reddit. Red pill is the recognition and awareness of the way that feminism, feminists, and their white knight enablers affect society. An awareness of the dark truths surrounding human sexuality, hypergamy, women's AF/BB, which is another definition thing here.
Sounds like jargon.
Society's feminine imperative, sexual differences and emotional attachment, women's attraction to something extremely politically incorrect, expect reflexive social ostracism for even mentioning red pill in polite society. Okay. So basically, they're defining having taken the red pill is you've acknowledged that feminism's bad, okay, and women are inferior to men.
Some of feminism is bad. Not all of it, but some of it is.
And if you say the word red pill in polite society, you're going to be ostracized, okay?
And women are not inferior to men.
Right.
People are different, and they're all individuals.
I've not taken
that is the MGTOW red pill. I'm referring to the red pill that is a little broader.
But that's not what they're talking about.
That's not the term they're using and the way they're using it. I've not taken their damn pill.
We're out of time tonight, but this could come up again. It's not the end of it, especially if you are a MGTOW person. You want to kind of lay it out for us why you are. Can you get out of it? We'll see you tomorrow. freetalklive.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.61 per ounce. Gold is